Hold on, my child. I love you, but you didn't go too far. Answer me how you made it to walk for free today. And you don't have a run car.
Praise to the Most High.
Oh, you're always complete in nature.
Shalom.
But this time, you didn't cross the line. Sitting around the window upon my character, using the same breath that's mine.
All praise to the Most High. Lioness of Judah, Shalom, or Shabbat Shalom in your respective area.
Right.
Pray you enjoy yourself today.
I crossed the line.
Shalom.
Always got something to say. If only I could focus on the right thing. It's you that I need. Even in my hardest times, you provide for me. Even the words that I'm saying, it's coming to me as I say it, and I ain't playing. You say, think not on what you need to say, yeah. You bless me with the words. Thank you.
Time for brothers and sisters to get in.
Healing me in the midst of all the birds. Father, wherever you go, I wanna come to. Abba, wherever you go, higher and desire, I wanna come to. Yeah.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. For those who may still who's still going through it.
Lift me up, yeah, when my spirit's lost. Take me wherever you go. Lift me up,
Sister Weezy. Shalom.
when I'm lost.
We're praying for you too, sir.
Yeah. I owe it all to you, 'cause that's what you deserve. I owe it all to you.
Lioness of Judah, no, it's not me singing.
'Cause that's what you deserve.
It would have been a blessing.
For me. And I will climb the tallest mountain for you. Yeah. Oh, and I will build the most beautiful fountain for you that I can visit. But I pray you mold me to what you want me to be.
Lamar, Shabbat Shalom, Hebrew 1:1.
And I'm willingly gonna be a living sacrifice for thee. I wanna come to. Yeah.
Okay, family. Can y'all hear me good? Shalom, Shabbat Shalom in the respective areas. Indeed, due to the line of beautiful white Shabbat with the snow everywhere here in the M-Town, Memphis, Concord. All praise to the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas and everything that's in them, or the snow that fall, the real snow, for some of us, along with the Father lights, the Ancient of Days, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. The same Israel, the man whose name the Father had changed by an angel who wrestled with him from Jacob to Israel. All right, giving us that blessing, giving us a blessed heritage to continue on perpetually, even through generations that's produced through us, through our children. The same power that protected us and our families throughout the night hours is many of us going through perilous times right now. And just thinking and trying to meditate on what is it? What is the word for today, Father? What is something that the people needed to hear? And so I believe the Father gave me a download on the subject matter for Texas, tours for Texas. In the case where, we've been hearing, some of us, we've been hearing, okay, it's bad in Texas. They don't have power in Texas. They have to board that water in Texas, so on and so forth. But a lot of us haven't saw these things for ourselves and got real testimonies from the people that's actually going through it. All right, and so on the flip side of that, I know here in Memphis, the Father imparted great mercy in the household. Whereas some of us, a lot of us, we're not without power. We still have power running and had power running the whole entire time through the winter storm. Aside from it, having water, clean enough or just to even look at and be like, okay, I might drink this, compared to where some people, they've had straight brown water coming out the faucets, no water at all. So we, being the children of Israel, we should take these things into consideration to give thanksgiving to the Father, to have a heart and a mind to even lament or have a strong expression of sorrow for our brothers and sisters who are going through, because they dealing with it on a level that we not. A lot of these people, they got children in the household. The heat don't work. And we're going to get into some of those videos, So today's message won't be so much so as teaching. But if you in Texas, my heart goes out to you. I'm praying to the Father, for the restoration of households, for mercy to be imparted, for favor to be given, for strength to be allotted, so that we can pull through that thing. I know, it's crazy too, family, how look at how sporadic this thing came about. Just a month or so ago, a couple weeks ago, the world was in an uproar about the pandemic. But now look how sudden everything then changed. The narrative, everybody talking about the winter storm, everybody affected by this thing. So things could change in a twinkling of an eye, just like that, in a shift of a moment. So when we consider these things, let that be on your mind to know that at any given moment it can go down. So what manner of person should we be? What should we be doing? And so what I want to do, I pray that the message is edifying to all who tune in now, and even later on. Peace and blessings to y'all's households. And if there's anybody in Texas, if you need some type of help, if I can help, that's what I'm gonna do. Just stay in contact with me. I'm gonna drop the let me drop the email on how to contact me right here in the comment box. Let's see. Children. Okay. Children of the prophets 144 at gmail.com. All right, because it is, if I could, man, you know, the streets they snowed up. We got black ice everywhere here in Memphis. So travel, you know, travel is, you'll be taking a chance with it. You know what I mean? That's something that I don't advise, because you'll find out that some of the deaths that contributed to the death rate in Texas came from people having wrecks, getting out on the ice and slide. All right, but if you in Texas, if I can help monetary wise, and I think things are clearing up enough where 18 wheelers they able to move. You know what I'm saying? If we can get some things to you all to help, you know, reach out to us. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Come on, what's going on, nephew? Bless you. All right, but my branch, you say Snowvic 19. Oh man, okay, I see what you mean, Saint. Indeed, Snowvic 19, everything shifted. The whole narrative changed from like I said, the pandemic and this virus into this. All right, so before we go ahead any further, let me start here with this particular verse. Let's go to Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17, saints. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. All right, and just to get some groundwork laid too, what does it mean to lament? The root word of lamentation is lament, and that means a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. A passionate expression of grief or sorrow. All right, so we understand that in the cold season, even, it's a lot of times that people feel sorrow. So now for this to be compiled on top of it, imagine what people feeling. Imagine what they thinking. You know what I mean? The cold make you say you can be so cold to you feeling sorrowful. But we want to express this to the Most High. So we're going to read this here. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. All right, so we've been watching for these outsiders or dependent upon the government, dependent upon government officials, you know, to have a mindset, to have a heart for the people. But come to find out, you had Ted Cruz, who's supposed to be a governor. During the winter storm, this man took a trip, a vacation to Cancun. You know what I'm saying? So while the people dealing with everything that's going on, that's going sideways, dealing with trouble, struggling, hurting, you know what I mean? Without power, 4 million was the number they said. 4 million people without power in Texas. This man took a trip to Cancun where it was sunny, they had heat, and didn't come back until he was facing ridicule. To the people were, you know what I mean, reproaching him, like, man, what you doing? You supposed to be in a leadership role and you abandoning the people. These are the people who we depend on, looking for them to save us. All right, so if we move past it, let me show y'all this. In over time, family, this the blessing of coming into the truth in the fold and actually reading the book, the Bible, and practicing what it say to prepare for things to come. The ministers who done went through seminary school to try to teach the people, to teach people faith and about the Most High God, a lot of them wasn't teaching the people, be prepared, stock up, have such and such in your house. Therefore, leaving the people to be slaughtered, you know what I mean, to not establish, to suffer. So let me get this real quick. We're gonna get with this pastor. I'm gonna share my screen. Pastor Noel Jones. All right, so the Most High then shook his soul, shaking him through his congregation. You know what I mean, to see that they've been selling us this prosperity thing. It's a lot of people in Texas who didn't prepare because the pastor wasn't telling them to stockpile. They said just have faith and believe, and that's good. It's gonna get you through. All right, but just to give you a little background on what we finna see, this guy here on the screen, he'll be talking about, you know, different situation where he told people if you don't give an offering, you're not gonna be blessed. All right, so let's check it out.
Particular young lady who was pregnant, and in fact, what I saw was that there was a breach. The baby had crossed, what do you call it, in between the wombs. So when I prayed for her and I said to her, this is what I'm seeing. So we have to not only pray, but take an offering to overturn it. In fact, sometimes these days it doesn't make sense to me. But guess what? Immediately after the service, they took her to the hospital. She was in labor. The doctor said the baby, is not in the right position. And for 24 hours, they didn't know what to do. They were about to operate her, but they said the chances are, if they operate her, they will lose both her and the baby. But all of a sudden, the baby turned and the baby came out safely with no operation. Now, to me, based on what I've experienced and I've seen, and personally what I've experienced, I believe sometimes these things it works. I mean, not everybody that will believe it, but it works.
Prophet, I have any problem with it. I just want to ask a question. I want to ask because this is serious. This is serious business, and I can't, I can't go over this. Why don't you take, and why don't my prophets, and why, first of all, why didn't my prophets tell me that this pandemic was coming? Number one, everybody I heard.
All right, so listen to what Noel said. He said this is serious. He understand it, man. When you in that position of teaching and talking about souls and the flock of the Most High Power, he said he understand this is serious. This other guy, he's still harping on talking about the offerings and pay your tithes and you'll get a miracle back that way and that means. So listen to what Noel said. He said, listen, man, look.
Everybody I heard in 2020, only Passion Java said to me that this is a year of the rat. And then, of course, the bat is a rat, and here comes a pandemic. I said, and I'm not prophetic in my calling, but I said that this is a year of manifestation. I didn't know God would strip us naked. I didn't know.
He didn't know that. Now, this is a renowned pastor. He said the people like, why you didn't tell us? Why didn't the prophets tell us that this pandemic was coming? Because they've been trained. They've been, these people, a lot of these pastors, like I said, going through seminary school, they taught what to teach. All right, so let me get some real quick, saints. Because if we were digging in the word, being studious, as we were commanded to do anyhow, the Israelites been talking about this for years and years. We expect to see pestilence. We expect to see famine. We expect to see a civil war, violence and murder increasing. We've been teaching it for years. Matthew 24. I'm going to hit it right on the head for verse 5. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now we done read that several times, scores and scores of times, alerting the people. Pestilence is an epidemic breakout of diseases, people. But if you're going through seminary school, if you're not serious about the souls of the people, then you're not going to be giving them the forewarning about these type of things, about the earthquakes in diverse places. All right, but let's hear more.
Just said it. But why don't we take this gift to the hospital when Jesus did all of this stuff? He said, go show yourself to the priest. Why don't we take some of these gifts to the hospital instead of taking offerings from church folk over diseases and stuff that they have? Why don't we take it to the hospital where a doctor can prove what it is we said happened? I am a biblicist. Understand this. Kevin, Simon, all of us guys are biblicists. Yeah. We believe that there's nothing we gonna get that don't come out of that Bible. And this is why the people are mad now, and we're losing people all over the world because we have projected things that have left them wounded. My church is saying to me now, they're saying to me, and they leave me broken. Because they're saying to me, my God, I don't know what to do. Why didn't you tell us this was coming? Why didn't the prophets, we had all the prophets, we gave them all our money. Wow. I'm sorry. I think
we gave them all our money. He said, why didn't the prophet tell us this? Why didn't he tell us this was coming? All right, but all praises to the Most High that he's shaking his brother. He's starting to turn his brother hard to really look into the word. All right, a lot of people didn't see this coming because they're not paying attention to the voice of the Most High God that's being spoken audibly every day, throughout the day, through people all the time, man. All right, but this brother crying, he lamenting. Why didn't they warn us? Now the church is clearing out. All right, so these same tourists lamenting. These same things, a lot of people, they were depending on these pastors, family. Depending on them. And what happened? The pastors didn't let them down. They didn't give them they didn't make them aware of these things. They told them, listen, don't worry about, trying to have a different form of heat in your house. Have a mindset to not depend on the government in case they let you down. And then even the government officials who said, listen, this Texas, we don't really experience weather like this. So we're not going to fortify our power grid system because it may never happen. But it's crazy because look, California got snow, family. Cali got snow. If I'm not mistaken, Arizona got snow. Everybody is cold everywhere, but in Florida, just the other day they had 86-degree weather. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going on? What's going on? Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll back up. I see y'all been conversating over here. Tavaya says Shabbat Shalom Hebrew. The ice actually almost all melted down here. Power back on is just the water now. People finding parasites in the water. Been on the boil water notice for about 3 to 4 days. All praises to the Most High. And I was gonna show that. So Tavaya, you in Texas then, huh? And that's what I was gonna get to too. They lifted. They said the power was restored. Like I said, there was 4 million people that was saying was without power. So now it's down to like hundreds of thousands, if I'm not mistaken. Judas Linus, where'd I get the modern day Babylon shirt from? You like it? All praise to the Most High. My brother Reggie at Truth Wear Attire. Truth Wear Attire. Everything spelled traditional. TruthWearattire. Truth Wear Attire. He blessed me with this. He got apparel for women and sisters, 2 children as well. Y'all could see Shalom, Saint. Walking in Truth, Shabbat Shalom. Judah the Lion said Memphis. Oh yeah, even out this way said Memphis under a Boil Water Act as well. Concon. Never drink water straight from the faucet. And when things get better, stock up on water, Israel. I keep alkaline myself and stocking up more. Concon, all praise to the Most High. With that, the shelves is clearing. If you don't know, family, the shelves is clearing so quickly of the water because anytime it's a situation where survival is the goal, and you don't have access to everything else, the first thing you need to be trying to find is water. Without water, you can die. All right, so when they cleared the shelves, my way in Memphis, and you couldn't have water, a secondary thing, what I would suggest, if you can, get you some Gatorade for hydration, just to keep your body hydrated. Gatorade or Powerade, something like that. All right, but yeah, we on a Boil Water watch, and the other day, I think some of y'all might have saw it. I posted in the community saying that we had got word that the water pipes was frozen or bust, either or both, and that we should start, putting water in big containers, totes. Some people didn't take heed to that, you know what I mean, and we did, and they were saying, "Well, I heard it. There's just a rumor." Okay, cool. But come to find out, listen, now they talking about boiled water, whereas I haven't drunk faucet water in years since I found out everything that they were putting into the waters, all the toxins and so on and so forth. But at the furthest extent, if I can't get that alkaline water or bottled water that I trust, then at least we got it in a way where, like I said, you can look at this water and say I'm comfortable enough to say it's not brown. You know what I mean? Like some people water is. All right, my Ark Hezekiah, my Shalom, Saint. All praise to the Most High. It was quite a trial trying to get everything up and going, brother. That's why we on so late, family. Josh Yazael, Shabbat Shalom all the way to Missouri, Saint. David Mitchell, Shalom, Shalom. All right, let me get back into it. We're gonna go through some more of the comments. Y'all know I love to interact with the saints. All right, so we see Noel Jones, like I said, he's a renowned pastor. If I'm not mistaken, he's over the Kojic denomination, Church of God in Christ. And the Most High touching and moving them to see that they've been failing the people with this prosperity gospel, taking the money from the people and then leaving them dry. With all that money that was stored up is supposed to be now that should be rolling back out for those families to help them in a time of need. All right, but it is what it is so far. But let me show y'all some more. Like I said, it's progress, but I'm sure that people still in Texas, they still need some help, family. So let me show you something else. Like I said, we want to get the testimonies from the people who down there. Share the screen again. Let's see. Let's get this brother to tell you. All right, we got. Let me see what else. Looks like it don't want to load. I can't click on it. I'll try to refresh it. And go back into it, Saints. Bear with me. Okay. Having a little trouble with that one. What I'll do, I'm gonna shift the narrative just a little bit because we still within as told the Black History Month. All right, but it's a major misconception behind the Emancipation Proclamation and who was heading that whole decision, Abraham Lincoln. All right, so let me show y'all this prayerfully if it comes up. Because so many believe that Abraham Lincoln was for the Negro class. He was for the Israelites. He was for the chosen. So this here is from New York Times. New York Times, and you see the title, Mr. Lincoln and Negro Equality. All right, so I'll read a little bit of what's before the main point that I'm driving from this article. All right, it says the Tribune of Wednesday morning copied conspicuously from the Albany Atlas in August an article intended to prove that Mr. Lincoln holds firmly and unflinchingly to the principles of the Republican Party, and that among them is the principle of Negro equality. With what special object the Tribune thus gave prominence and a quasi-endorsement to the statement of Mr. Lincoln's position from an open and unsparing political opponent. It is no part of our purpose to inquire. Probably nothing has done more to embitter the minds of the Southern people towards the president-elect than the imputation of such sentiments on the subject. We propose, therefore, to examine the basis on which the allegation rests. All right, so here is this paragraph here, this section is a conversation, or they're saying this is from a speech of Abraham Lincoln in September 1858 in regards to the matter of equality with Negroes. And here it is. It says, the central idea in our political system at the beginning was, and until recently continued to be, the equality of men. And although it was always submitted patiently to whatever inequality there seemed to be, as a matter of actual necessity, its constant working has been a steady progress toward the practical equality of all men. So he's saying there's a major issue that needed to be addressed, equality. All right, and we still deal with that today, saints. All right, it says, and what I have done, I cannot claim to have acted from any peculiar consideration of the colored people as a separate and distinct class in the community, but from the simple conviction that all the individuals of their class are members of the community, and in virtue of their manhood entitled to every original right enjoyed by any other member. So he's saying, I haven't said anything contrary to believing that the so-called blacks, these Negroes, are equal, or that they have the same rights as everyone else. It says, we feel, therefore, that all illegal distinction between individuals of the same community founded in any such circumstances as color, origin, and the like are hostile to the genius of our institutions and incompatible with the true history of American liberty. Slavery and oppression must cease, or American liberty must perish. So this is what they're saying. This is what they said he quoted in their speech. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump down. So he showing that he was supposed to have been against slavery. All right. So jumping down past it to this part, get to the actual. It says, where or on what occasion this alleged speech was made, we are not informed. We do not believe it was ever made by Mr. Lincoln at all. We believe it to be a forgery, out and out, and we shall give the reasons which lead us to that belief. All right, the speech is said to have been made in September 1858. Now, during all that month, Mr. Lincoln was engaged in stumping the state of Illinois with Judge Douglas. If any such speech or any speech embodying such sentiments was made at that time, therefore, it must have been in the course of that discussion. Their whole debate has been published, and we find nothing in any one of Mr. Lincoln's speeches like the language quoted, nor anything embodying the sentiments ascribed to him. Nor does Mr. Douglas anywhere in that debate or during the succeeding month of October ascribe to Mr. Lincoln any such language as he would infallibly have done if Mr. Lincoln had ever used it. So much for the negative evidence on the subject. All right. So here is what was actually said. It says, on the other hand, throughout that debate, Mr. Lincoln repeatedly repudiated the sentiments ascribed to him in his extract on the 18th of September, 1858, the very month in which he is alleged to have said what is quoted above. He made a speech at Charleston, Illinois, in which he said, from Lincoln's speech, September 18, 1858. Here we go, saints. It says, while I was at the hotel today, an elderly gentleman called upon me to know whether I was really in favor of producing a perfect equality between the Negroes and white people. While I had not proposed to myself on this occasion. Hold on a second. Okay, what was that about? Let me go back from that. Go back to it. Okay. This is Shalakia. Okay. Producing a perfect equality between the Negroes and white people. While I had not proposed to myself on this occasion to say much on that subject, yet as the question was asked me, I thought I would occupy perhaps 5 minutes in saying something in regard to it. I will say then that I am not, nor ever have been, let me highlight this, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the black and white races. That I am not, nor ever have been in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I would say in addition to this, that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. And inasmuch as they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior. And I, as much as any of her man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race. All right. Now, I'm gonna copy this here so y'all can have access to it. I'm gonna put that in the comment box. Let me drop this here so that you can go read it yourself. But the show, you know what I mean, and there's nothing wrong if you feel, you know, you for the white race. Okay, you for your people. I don't see a problem. Be for your people. You know what I mean? We'll be for ours. All right. But in this case, family, just to go into and see how we've been taught through tradition, through the school system that failed us. You know what I mean? They haven't shared and enlightened us on this information. These are things we should be aware of. You know, we going out there and we just saying thus and thus, like Abraham was for us. He wasn't for us. All right, we were counted as 3/5 of a human being. And so the Emancipation Proclamation was signed as a political move that when the Senate and the House were against each other, he would have, or whoever the candidate was, would have more votes on their side. All right. But that's we can save that for a whole nother talk. But it ties into everything. But going back into Tears for Texas and spinning it to say a lot of the people that's affected by it are our people. You know what I mean? And we entrusted the people in these positions to think that they're for us, and they're not. All right, leaving us to die. All right, so let me go into this particular video if the Father allows it. Let me share this. Share the screen. All right, let's see. Here we go.
What happens in Texas when the water freezes?
Oh, yeah. If you have children in the room, I think we have some explicit language within this video. So if you don't want them to hear it, you know, curse words, so on and so forth, you know, you can give them a warning or have them to leave the room or mute the video for a moment or however you're going to deal with it. You know, but this particular video, it does have some profanity usage in it. Give you a couple seconds. All right, here we go.
You try to trip your faucets. So
Let's fucking go! No! Fuck!
All right, man. So I know y'all done seen all these updates talking about how bad Texas is, but y'all really don't understand. One, if we look outside, they're telling us don't go nowhere because they don't have no fucking plows or nothing to like counteract this shit. That's one. Two, my fucking power is off. Like it's freezing in this house. I got my keys in the crib with me. No power in the fucking microwave. Fucking cars are covered because we can't go nowhere. That's not even the part that's really bothering me. The part that's bothering me is that they ordered our power to be off to conserve energy so we wouldn't have a larger power outage, which makes sense, but I feel like they should have just did it for commercial businesses that aren't like mandatory. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some fast food places just basically leave the grocery stores open. And this is the worst part right here. Like I said, I got my kids in the crib with me. This is the worst part.
59 degrees, Hebrews. 59 degrees, people. And the man said he got his children in the house with him.
Last night. That's what we went to sleep with. All right, man. So.
Now that I have adequate cell phone service, I want to share this video with you that I took earlier today. It is now 11:11, and I want to show you what the winter storm did for me here in Texas. I've seen plenty of videos, individuals making fun of those of us who are in Texas. Well, as you can see, my apartment has now flooded. From what I understand, this is water coming from broken lines that lead to the fire sprinkler system. It is coming out of the vents. It's coming out of the ceiling fans, from the electrical outlets in the garage that is attached to the garage door opener, along with another bedroom that is located downstairs. We still do not have power at this moment. And so I am sitting in my car recording this video, trying to stay warm. And I also use medical equipment at night that I won't be able to use. So it's not all fun and games, and we're not snowflake. Now,
all right, so even like the brother Tobias said, just an update on it. The majority of people, they have power now. But listen to what she said. She said she was in the car trying to keep warm. And we'll come to find out that it was a number of people during this time where it wasn't power, going into their vehicles for heat and end up dying. They froze to death. They were finding people froze to death outside. And then look at the situation of this woman and imagine yourself being in that situation with your children. Some of the people having, children that's still on the PAPs. You know what I mean? Not having children that, who even understand the concept of life altogether yet. And it is people who still, recovering from these situations. I don't think they're going to be able to restore this sister's house in a couple of days. Water leaking out the ceiling and everything else that we see in here.
All right, guys, we're here at Gator Country in Beaumont, Texas. And we don't go through this very much. You see this white, crazy stuff on the ground? It's rough. This business goes through hurricanes and hard weather. We've done that. This is the worst that can happen to us, though. Here's what happens, though, to the American alligator. We can leave them outside because they're brilliant. They have figured out to go into a state of hibernation. On a regular warm day, this animal will have a heart rate of 55 beats per minute. Today, he's going to a true hibernation to where his heart rate is down to 3 beats per minute. This is how they survive. They know it's going to freeze, so what they do, they poke their snouts through. They go into that hibernation so they can breathe. This is absolutely amazing. You see that, folks? He's alive. Is that not incredible? The American alligator is absolutely incredible. Come see us at Gator Country. This will all end, and we'll get back to crawfish nights in 2 weeks.
Bro, look at this fucking snow. Oh, fuck. Oh, my shoe. No! You're dead ass right now. Are you?
All right, so the pipes burst at the hotel. It's absolute mayhem.
The pipes have burst. People running from the cops. They got fights going on. And I'm trying to watch it all.
All right. Fights going on, pipes bursting. And again, family, now we hearing from the outside of it, but we peering into it from the inside, from people testimonies who died. All right, imagine how many other fights might have broke out. Imagine the mindset of those who may be wicked, who felt that it was a time to capitalize on the winter storm. All right, security systems is down. You know what I mean? This is some of the information that's not going to be covered over the news, family. But these are things to consider. All right. Let me show something else. Saints. Tears for Texas. So we still praying for the recovery of the saints, the brothers down there, sisters down there. Let's see. Here we go.
They said we can't even wash our face with the water. They said don't wash your face, don't brush your teeth, do not drink the water, boil it if you have to for those that has power. If y'all have bottled water, if y'all have the Nestle delivery water, please drink that water, y'all. These people is out here trying to kill us.
There you go. We ain't got no bugs to put in.
Texas is in a state of emergency. They is trying to kill us.
Oh my! Supposed to we can't wash our face with the water. Look at that.
If y'all are in the state of Texas, do not drink this water.
We got the temperature.
This is the water now in Texas, y'all.
And we don't even know. Yep. And
full of parasites.
The water over there dripping in your hand.
Okay, saints, like, who want to wash their face with it? Seeing it, who wants to drink it or take a shower or a bath in that type of water? All right, but this is what the people dealing with down that way. All right, so this, like I said, I just wanted to shed some light on the situation of what the people going through down there. You know what I mean? If we not dealing with that on that level, that's a point to get the Most High some praise, man. That's a point to lift up his name and say, thank you, Father. You know what I'm saying? Because we not dealing with it on that level and at that magnitude. All right, so let me see. I think I had a couple more to show. Let me go back into it. So the parasites in the water. All right. Along with that, let me get a verse right quick too. Where I get it afterwards. Listen to what this woman said.
Hi. You finish your video shoot, everybody thinks you're done. Wrong mundo. You've just started jumping through.
I'm sick. So, yeah. Anyway.
Indeed. And off the rip, she come out saying she's sick. Now, we know we in a time with this pandemic and they talking about vaccinations. You got to be vaccinated. If you don't have power in the house, you know what I mean? And the majority of the time, if it's not at the changing of the season, in the wintertime, people get sick. What you think this is going to do for the numbers of, when it come down to the pestilence that's in the earth today?
I live in Texas, and we've been so lucky and fortunate to have electricity just about this whole entire time. However, let's check out that electricity bill. So here we're looking at Monday's usage, $990.44 for one day, which made our total almost $2,000 for an electric bill. This is our usage for Tuesday alone, $1,265.01, bringing our total of what we owe our electric company, $3,194.12. This is Wednesday's usage alone, $1,005.64 just for one day, which brought our grand total so far almost $5,000.
$5,000. All right, now I saw another account where you had a brother with his bill, his light bill, it went up to he was looking at a $9,000 bill. So we looking at the thing saying, okay, well, you got some without power. You know, well, you got many without power at that time. They didn't have power, and some who had power. But the ones who had power, they charging them their life. Can't even say an arm and a leg. They charge them their life for the utilities. All right, so let me get something out the book. We're gonna go back to Lamentations 5. Lamentation chapter 5, family. The people are already suffering. It's already cold. And then the little power that they can get, you charging them all of this. Now I don't know if they're gonna actually have to pay, you know what I mean, that price or whatnot. You know, but if they do, man, it'll be ridiculous. All right, so we're in Lamentations 5. Lamentations chapter 5, verse 4. All right, and it reads, it says, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. All right, so showing that, you know, from the book, we come from a time where we didn't have to pay for utilities. You know what I mean? We didn't have to worry about, you know, going to somebody to say, well, I'm going to give you this amount of money just so that you can keep my water running, or so that you can keep the light going, or so that you can keep, you know what I mean, the gas in the house going. Which even on this subject, a lot of people who were trying to stay warm, family, they had gas-powered stoves. And they were running them all night, and they end up dying from the carbon monoxide. You know what I mean? Trying to survive. And people end up losing their lives. So we see here, again, I'm going to read it. Lamentation chapter 5, verse 4. It says, we have drunken our water for money. Water that come out the earth. Water that the Most High bless us with. You know what I mean? Which nowadays they've tainted it, so on and so forth. And it's now we seeing that it got parasites in it, but aforetime, we didn't have to pay for these things, man. All right, let's go to Psalm 5 and 6. This what the problem is with that. The book of Psalm chapter 5, verse 6. Psalm chapter 5, verse 6. Because if I'm charging you for water and light, so on and so forth, there's a format of leasing. And let's see what the Most High got to say about it. The book of Psalm chapter 5, verse 6. It says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man, because there is deceit. How is it that the building shot up to $1,000 a day? You know, and you expecting people to pay this where everything shut down. It ain't like they can go to work. You know what I mean? To make the money back and then pay. You know, but again, I don't know. I need verification from somebody who down that way. If you're dealing with that, are they saying that you will have to pay, you know what I mean, debt balance, or they gonna cut it out? Matt Scott says, Shalom family pestilence. Another virus arises in Russia. It was already H1N1. Now it's H5N8. Bird flu. Ain't that something? Indeed, we seeing it. And of course, they talking about the virus supposed to continuously be mutating. And you having to get vaccinated once and then go back another 2 times, from my understanding, which that don't even make sense. Chosen for Zion said, can y'all just come to Africa? Con, I hear you with the tear shed and lament for the saints. All right. Shemaiah says, smoke no fire. Indeed. All right, so I want to show some announcements. We talking foreign, you know, from what Matt Scott just referred. Let me show you something else though. Share the screen once more. I'll go here for something that hasn't happened. See what it says? Snow falls in Saudi Arabia for the first time in over 50 years.
إن شاء الله تبارك الله. سعد الله صباحكم كل خير. اليوم الخميس 6/7/1442 جبال الظهر مركز علقان ما شاء الله تبارك الله. نزول الثلوج بكثافة ما شاء الله. اللهم صيبا نافعا.
All right. So we seeing it. They got snow in Saudi Arabia, family. Like you said, it hadn't happened in 50 years. So the Most High said it'll be signs in the earth, in the heavens. He said he would do this. All right. Bamar says spell Evian bottled water backwards. They know we are naive to buy tap water. Spring water from a creek is free. Indeed. Con. Oh yeah, so that brand of bottled water, Evian. Naive is, backwards it spells naive. Con. They put it right in our face. They put it right in our face, saints. All right, I'm trying to make sure that I covered everything that I wanted to touch on here today. Like I said, this video wasn't so much so to be a message of teaching, but I do pray that it was edifying for you, strengthening. But to lay it on our minds, family, that we in positions where a lot of the brothers and sisters, they can't sit in the comfort of their homes, with a short sleeve shirt on. They still having, some of them having to have, face masks, and I'm not talking about to prevent the sickness. I'm talking about to keep their heads warm. A lot of the people still having to recover from the houses being flooded from pipes busting. Cars. It was a video where they had the street was aligned with different types of vehicles, and on the street you had a firefighter truck out there. You had the ambulance truck out there. There's several different types, and these people just parked the vehicles. They couldn't use them. All right, so but in Texas, man, anybody who is that way, and you see this video, if it's a way that we could assist here from Memphis or the children of the prophets, if we able to, I've already dropped the email in the comment box. Just shoot your information on how we could help. But that's pretty much all I got. Y'all got anything else for me out there, saints? Before we close out. Via Pa, Shalom, sir. Y'all got anything else for me before we close out? Let's see. Brother Monty, me brother. Shalom, saint. Courtney, a rocket car brewer, man. Shalom, family. Okay, y'all look like y'all ain't got too much for me. Okay, Princeton Beard said, how do you feel about learning Hebrew? As far as learning Hebrew, this is how I feel. Let's go to the preface for Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, if you got the Apocrypha. Okay, thank you, Matt Scott. May he bless your household and increase you too, family. Indeed, it is time to get ready. All right, how do I feel about learning Hebrew? So I'm going to go to the preface for Sirach. All right, in the paragraph which reads the prologue of the wisdom of Jesus or Joshua, the son of Sirach. And I'm jumping down nearly to the end, and it says, wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. All right, so it's more power in using the original language that was used, you know what I mean, in quoting the scriptures, or, you know, whether we read through it or however we deal with it. So my take on learning Hebrew is necessary. You know what I mean? If you want to destroy people, you know what I mean, one of the main things of how to destroy them and keeping them disconnected from their original heritage, to keep them lost, you take away their language. You cut out their tongues, in a sense. All right, so this is how I feel about learning Hebrew. I think it's definitely necessary, Brother Princeton Beard. All right, anybody got anything else? Shemaiah Yisrael, the water to the Most High, Todah to the Most High. Thank him. I'm just a servant in the vessel. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like this video. You know, if it moved you in any kind of way, you learned something. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share the video, comment, you know what I mean, to help out with the algorithms. Other people may need to see this, family. And aside from it, y'all just have a blessed rest of your evening, since I don't see nothing else going on. And listen, remember to tell Satan we won up with this. Shalom.